Well, we shall.
Slimer, you realize this is your team that's supposed to...
My
They're,
team
they're
is what?
technically...
My team is what now? Bearing in mind, I am
But one of the teams playing.
Yeah, I know one. But it's not my team because I'm not a coach. I left the SLL.
But it's you're listed as their coach.
I know, even though I left the SLL.
Pringles
I'm gonna change it.
Ugh,
Wonton Noodle deserves some.
respect. Even though he's
Yeah.
disappeared at the moment.
Shut up.
Okay, are their games started yet?
No
I
clue.
don't believe so. No.
One
I mean,
sec, I will go
One
check.
of them's having a dispute. Yeah.
I will go.
They're still going at it.
Yeah, they can go suck a fuck.
Why doesn't she just say, "Get the fuck out of my Discord server"?
Because I don't think that like.
Find another fucking sub. Your account.
The game is starting.
Okay.
The game is starting. They
Who am I
just
spectating?
started it.
Who am I? Yeah, who are we spectating?
You need to spectate. Try this one. NOE Shadow.
NOE.
What's the password? A1?
Should be
What's the
D1.
password?
D1.
Should be D1.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
D1.
Yeah, D1.
D1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if capitals matter, but it should be.
Incorrect password to
Capital
spectate the
D.
match. You're not to spectate the match.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, we're in bands right now. Work for me.
Well,
So
we
wait, are you spectating?
I will be in a second. I gotta do
Okay.
capital D1.
Okay.
I'm spectating
it
now.
Okay, so we're in picks
And
and
it
bands.
is streaming. I see the stream.
Yes.
Alright.
So I will
We
mute
can
myself,
start
and
whenever.
you guys can start doing your.
Okay, so this is NA versus EU, right?
Yes.
Who's
Okay.
EU? EU's the other
Team
team.
Pride.
Red.
Right
The red
side.
side.
Yeah,
Right side
is
is Team Pride.
Yes. Red team is Team Pride. They're an EU team. The other team is called Optimal Kraken.
Okay. Alright, so just let me know when you like unmute or whatever, and we can start like our actual casting. If they've even are they in picks and bans right now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're in picks
we're
and
in
bands.
picks and bands. Yeah.
You can start casting the picks and bands whenever.
Okay, well, are you gonna mute yourself or are you
I
gonna?
will.
No,
Okay,
he
I
can
didn't
cast.
know.
I mean, he's
No, I
also
was
good at
just saying.
casting. The
No, I was
No,
just saying
I
if
will
he
mute
wants to
myself.
whatever. Okay, do we want to start
myself.
now, Des?
we can start whenever. Yeah, I mean, we should be live. You're synced up, right? They just banned Pele.
No, they didn't ban Pele for me.
Oh yeah, you're
now
way
they just
behind.
ban Pele.
Okay, so I'm a little bit ahead then. Okay, so right now we have first pick going in for order. Nothing's turned yet. I'll let you know when it turns.
Wait,
Make
what
sure we're
does
synced
Slimer
up.
see?
I see
I'm gonna.
all bands done. No one's picked yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, do you want to unmute and we just start?
Yeah, you can start whenever.
Okay. Alright, let's just do this then.
Alrighty. So, welcome everyone to the Smite Little League stream. Right now, we've got the we have
Optimal Kraken versus Team
Optimal
Pride.
Crack versus Team Pride. Team Pride will be on the Chaos side, and Optimal Crack will be in the Order. Erlong Shen, Rat, Freya, Pele, pretty standard bands right now. On first pick, we have. Yeah, I'm not caught up to you, so I can't see this.
Yeah, very nice. We have first pick. One is the RDO. Order side takes the RDO, and in response to that, with the Bakasura and Hera. The Hera is a flex pick still. She's been played a lot in solo lane, especially in some of the games that I've seen on the EU side. I don't know if that's still as common as it was,
Yeah.
but definitely we have the Bakasura most likely going into the jungle. So in response to this, I'm looking for maybe something like we need some kind of lockdown here. The RDO already does a really good job at locking down the
I've got-
Bakasura.
I think I'm caught up to you now because now I have Hera and Bakasura picked. Both those
Yeah.
picks are pretty powerful. Bakasura pretty linear, going jungle. Hera can go solo mid. She might even go support though. It's pretty weak.
And NA
Ardio's a
goes,
solid start pick.
NA goes right back to the Raijin again. It's like one of those staple
Classic.
picks.
Classic NA Raijin.
So I guess we're going to go pick up. I'm looking to pair this up with honestly the Odin's good. Like the big concern also is not only picking up the Odin for itself, but not letting
It's
the Odin
early.
fall in the hands with the Hera.
Yeah,
Baka
Hera
Odin
brutal.
is a nightmare already to deal with.
Hera herself is already really annoying to deal
The
with. When
spicy
she's not-
AMC hover. It has to be. It has
Toxic
to be
AMC hover,
troll.
I think. Either way.
And the
If they pick
Cupid thing.
AMC here, I don't know.
Gaming Panda Mister is his top god, most played god is Cupid. So this is no surprise they take this in the first set of picks. And they respond with the Terra. So Bakasura, Hera, and Terra. There's an extremely strong combination here. I'm expecting an Odin ban from Order.
Okay, so this game sucks, and it just put me into the match for no reason when I didn't click anything. So I'm just going to pause when we get in, because Smite is a fantastic, well put together game that functions as it's supposed to.
So we have a Xing
I'm
Shen ban
ratting
coming
the
out
game
from
one.
Chaos, or Ratatoskr ban coming out from Order. Banning the Ratatoskr is really oh, it's like an Uller ban. Okay. I was gonna say. So the Uller ban comes out. I love that the bans are not even in order. I wish they were in order, but maybe one day. Looking for last ban from Chaos side.
Mhm.
What team do you favour for the start here? With the
Right
drafts as they
now,
are so far.
based on the draft right now, I've got to give the early over to Pride. What about you?
As of right now, well, I can't see what's in
No,
the
I've
draft
heard
right now.
Slimer.
What about me? I would, I so far give it over to Chaos side here. Quite
Yeah,
a solid draft here.
quite solid. Yeah, that Bakasura ult with that Terra ult in that mid and late game.
Yeah, it's just the amount of damage they could do is insane.
The fact that Alpwash has made it to this point with the Terra being open and
Yeah,
not
I didn't even
by
realize
either
that.
side, that they opted for the Hera most likely in mid and the Raijin is you know, I mean then again,
I'm
so
very,
Raijin
very
is
surprised because I remember from
Kumba
watching.
coming out for Chaos. This is actually really good for multiple reasons. Not only is it good disruption on the Raijin and Ardio, but it's also something that makes Bakasura's life hard. So anything that's gonna come out and stop doing, stop your god, stop your engage from doing what they want to do. There was something good to take away. Plus, it works well into your team. Also, does well into Ganesh, by the way. So,
Yes, the
um,
Kumba itself
yeah,
actually.
Kumba's a great pick, and they pick Ganesh into it. We'll see how they play around this. But this can stop the Terra's engage, but the main concern here is that the Kumbhakarna just comes in and, quite honestly, just does whatever he wants after he disrupts that silence.
The Kumbhakarna, I feel, in this case, is more to take it away from Optimal Crack of
Yeah,
those two.
yeah.
Because at this point, Kumbhakarna would be so good. It stops Bakasura. It keeps Hera down a little bit. It can zone her completely off, make her.
Yeah.
It can mez her for. She has to beats the mez late game, or she just does nothing the whole fight because she
Because
needs to be
there's very
constantly
little
dealing
engage
damage.
there's very little engage out of Pride here, but there's also
Yes.
very very little engage out of Kraken. So definitely this still definitely goes in the favor of Pride.
What are the picks on Kraken Pride right now?
Pride has Baka, Hera, Terra, Kumba, and Hachi. They're hovering. It's not locked in yet.
Terra, Kumba, and yeah. Yeah, the comp that would be really strong just because of the amount of chase down that
Well,
they do have
Hachi
now.
also brings that little bit of team fight that they're missing
Yeah.
with that ult and that banner. So I think it could be a really good pick to finish off the draft.
It would be. It would. It also gives them another level of chase down that Hera
The
lacks.
Hachi is locked in. All right, so I'm gonna set up to spectate now. I'm going into the game. What time are you at, Val?
Right now, I'm at 121 before the game starts.
121. Okay.
Again, I wasn't able to be in picks and bans
No,
because
it's
of
yeah.
Smite
So
being
here
Smite
we'll
and
take
just
a
wanting
mute
to
on
him.
the stream here while we catch up.
All right, I'm at 121. We're just waiting for let Slimer get all synced up. 121. ready to go when you are.
So, okay. After I finish the countdown, just unmute the Alright, everyone, welcome back to the Smite Little League Round 1 tournament game between Pride and Optimal Crack. Looking at the comps, I want to say Optimal Crack has a better comp, but, like, they lack so much engage that I feel like that Pride is just going to be able to abuse that.
You favor the order side draft? I really like this chaos draft a lot.
There's
so much.
I want to favor it because you look at their value of their picks. Like, Naja's incredible right now with his rotation ability, his ability to just take somebody out of the fight. And then Artio is super good because Artio just kind of walks at you and the cripple field is massive. It takes such a long time for it to die out, and it's so good into that Kumbhakarna, that Terra. All of the characters are affected by that except for Hera. And then the Raijin just does so much damage. Ganesha
I definitely see that. The one concern that I have is that Kraken has the ability with the Naja ult to absolutely melt someone. But the problem is that when Kumbhakarna gets into the backline, I don't really see a viable way of getting him off. You're going to have to blow the Ganesh ult right away, followed up by the Cupid ult. If we see Cupid ult used defensively here, I think Kraken's on the back foot for... Yeah, they're on the back foot for most of the game.
Cupid needs to be using that ult offensively. Either Naja starts the fights, or there needs to be some sort of blink engage from Artio. There's no real solid engage other than Naja, and you don't always want to start the fight with Naja because it becomes very, very telegraphed and easy to come around. Now, if the Little League players exploit that, is up for debate, right? But if they recognize that, as they should, it'll be very, very hard for Optimal Crack to win this game. As of right now, everything's expected. The dual lane has got outpushed by Hachi Kumbha. Kumbhakarna offers quite a lot of pressure, especially over Cupid and Ganesha. You could try to block the Kumbhakarna one, but in this case, I don't really see how it's... Kumbha can position himself well enough to where he just isn't blocked, right?
Oh, look at the proxy from Artio and solo lane. It's pretty standard.
Nothing too exciting.
Looking through the starts here, you have your Terra what looks like she's rushing into the Void Stone, while you have the Artio who's just opted in for that Chalice.
I don't like the Terra start.
I definitely think the Artio definitely has the sustain and pressure in the lane after a couple levels when they really start to trade a little bit. But
in this lane, Terra in this matchup, Terra loses this lane through and through, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if you're going to, you have to trade with Artio. Otherwise, she's just going to zone you out of the waves. Now, the Terra here should have started what Artio started, or maybe drop the health pots, get boots one instead. I don't like the Void Stone here because you're just going to get out pressured, out pushed, and not out sustained.
I just look at it as, like, this could be something that the Terra's done and practiced and familiar with the matchup and done this before. So I'm assuming that there's some kind of plan for it, maybe to help that early clear a little bit, because Terra obviously does suffer in the very first few levels when it comes to clear.
But for me, that shows inexperience in the matchup, because there are certain matchups like Geb. Geb is not going to kill you ever, right? You could do that into Geb and be perfectly fine. You could do that into Kumbha, the more passive Guardians. Artio is incredibly aggressive, and that's how she's supposed to play.
Well, we'll
now,
see.
if Artio plays this right, she'll get punished.
Yeah, but we're looking over
double stun in dual lane, nothing's going to come of it. I thought something would come of it. Cupid got a double heart bomb stun, and I thought they were going to aggress with the sprint, but they did not.
We're at 207, 208.
I am at 256.
How are you? Yeah. I'm at 217. What about you, Slimer? 218.
How am I going so much faster than you guys are?
Yeah. What the fuck did you do, Val?
I said we pause at once I say one.
Let Slimer count down.
Yeah, me and him are synced. Yeah, wait for him.
Why the hell? I counted down and then we started and then we were. How did that split up? Did I fast forward by accident?
It's fine, though. Just get ready. You have 10 seconds. Yeah.
Hit L after. I know. Other.
Get to 3 because for some reason when I hit L to it unpaused it. Yeah, it played it.
Wait to.
Yeah.
Yep. Apologies, guys. We had a little bit of technical difficulty with the cast.
So, coming out from Pride, though, the one thing I definitely want to know earlier is there's already 4 wards in pocket. So, I mean, they're definitely look to getting that, to getting control in mid, it looks like. You pick up the idea, obviously, as you ward the corners, get ready to set up. You could look to either pressure the mids, get control of the mids, and then potentially set up for the enemy's red. There's definitely no doubt, there's definitely no doubt in my mind that this Bakasura and Hera could easily get some pressure in that mid lane and look for some potential red invades.
Crack's gonna have to look to play with the pressure that they have either in solo lane or right now they do have dual pressure.
We have a gank and solo going on. Oh, Ardio gets stunned out. This should be first blood. Oh, Ardio's almost out.
Here. Got the dash out.
No, she's dead.
She's still alive. She's living through this. Ardio with the jukes, avoiding the jump on Bakasura is just too fast.
Bakasura picks up first blood for red team. This is really good for getting that character online.
Look on the left side. Aggression coming in. Ganesh front styling out. Naja bringing up the Hera. Raijin in response. Gone. That was very well executed. There's so much going on at the same time. Ganesh comes out on left side to no reward.
Bakasura's over here at the mid camps alone. Naja sash.
Looking for the jump.
Resets the auto attack chain. And Bakasura will get out. So right now, we have the first blood answered back in mid by the Raijin. Now Raijin went for the cooldown shoot into the with the Mage's Blessing. We look like he's gonna pick up a Magus here. It's most likely gonna be, and then probably into something like a Soul Reaver. While the Hera is going into the what I'm assuming are gonna be cooldown boots into a Book of Thoth.
Yes. From the Hera, I kind of want to see a little bit more of a hybrid build because of how I know she's like going to be the main source of magical damage, but with the hybrid build, like one defensive item, like maybe a mantle, or you can even maybe go a Void Stone.
I'm definitely thinking that there's going to be you go into what people are now calling the Elo helmet to the Void Stone on Hera. It's just so strong, gives her so much.
Legion helm.
Yeah,
is what it's called. That would be ideal here. Although her start doesn't really
the start doesn't
build into that. It doesn't lend itself to building into that. Now we've talked about this a lot. The jungler boots. The difference between the boots. Bakasura has Warrior Tabby, and Naja has the Traveler shoes or the Talaria boots. Personally, I think the Talaria is better.
I
the
also
amount of rotations it can give.
Yeah.
Is the amount of power, and it's not, you're not losing that much power, especially on a character like Naja, that ultimate's already doing a ton of damage, so the little bit of power that you get from boots, I feel is compensated for by the amount of movement speed you're getting out of base, and just in general. That's a 25% movement speed you get from that, and then the 10% more out of base. We're actually
looking at a solo, Ganesh is solo invading this enemy purple over here.
And they're going to get
punished. And he's caught out for it. The Bakasura a little bit off the mark. Dharmic Pillars and that silence. That's a great silence.
That was really good peel by the Ganesh.
That was a great peel. Yeah.
The beads from Cupid were great. And the counter gank was a little late, but the Dharmic Pillars, Ganesha did a great job.
That was a great job from that Ganesh, honestly, making sure no one died there. So now it looks like we're going to go slip back off. The invade ultimately was not successful. Kumbhakarna will get the purple buff. And the one thing that did come off of that, though, is that Kraken does get Oracle control off of that.
They do. The Oracle control here, I mean, it's not really relevant at this point, but it's still XP on the map. Neutral farm that you want to take away from your opponents. And it's exactly what they're able to do with that. I attribute that to Enclave save on the Cupid.
Honestly,
the Cupid beads were very good.
Per minute here, I mean, it is almost even across the mark. The one disparity is going to be the supports. Ganesh is farming very, very well right now.
Which is surprising, considering Ganesh's passive. He literally he gives gold to he can't last hit if a teammate's nearby. He gives gold, gives kills, gives everything.
Now he's farming exceptionally well right now.
He's doing very well. The Dharmic Pillars comes out in mid. Hera's looking to get engaged on here. The Raijin ult coming out as well.
Raiju's good. There should be a kill. There's no way. She's just dead.
There's nothing they can do.
That comes down to not having that, for
Vision.
them, for not having that top right on order side. Their version, top right, not warded.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate. They had the bottom right warded, but unfortunately, that ward's just not good enough to save you from the Dharmic Pillar.
No, they did not have that ward, actually. Solo lane gank coming out again, but nothing to come of it. The Terra ult comes out, and so does the Bakasura ult, and Ardio gets out again. Or gets out, which is surprising, considering...
This is the second gank that we've seen over here now. The first one was successful. I can understand why Bakasura will come back and do this again. The one thing that the Ardio needs to note here is that Bakasura is ganking now off the blue buff timer.
Yes.
So she has to internalize that in her head. The blue buff's coming up in, let's say now we have like a minute and we're about a minute and 15 seconds now. The buff's coming up. I need to know that I cannot be pressuring this lane at all around that time.
She also needs to take note of the... He's doing this because the matchup is very bad for Terra. Terra gets bullied, smacked.
Out right now in mid. See right here, Ganesh is positioned like he wanted to do something.
But doesn't look like anything's going to
Ardio is invading right here. Ardio's invading back camp. Now she has vision. She feels comfortable doing this. Is she gonna get caught?
Again. Hera's up again. The Dharmic Pillar's coming out on the landing. The grab was almost perfect with the epic uppercut to intercept. Hera still falls. Bakasura's in now. Does not have the regurgitate up. He's going. Terra's now in as well. The stun coming out, blocking off Naja. Raijin ult coming out, and there's just nothing's going to come of it.
Kumba will fall here. Ardio should be able to finish this up easy, and she does.
That fight was just Terra ult coming out. The fight is continuing. Bakasura is back in with the regurgitate up, looking to shred through that Ardio. Ardio is going to fall here, but Raijin might be able to pick up another one. Raijin, Ganesha with the Enclave is playing amazingly right now. He's doing everything he is supposed to do. And executing it very well. That last fight was played near perfectly by Enclave. Although the re-engage was very, very sloppy from Pride, they didn't use anything with the Terra. They went before Bakasura ult happens, and they get 3 clean picks for nothing.
What time were you at, Slimer, in the thing? Yeah, what time are you at, Val? Alright, at 10. Alright, I just want to double check.
With that fight, the gold lead is just... Right now, it's not as much as I thought it would be. It's only about 2k. I'm surprised that it isn't more.
One thing, though, if you look at right now, after winning that fight, though...
Uppercut chasing out the Ganesha. They're looking to pick him here. Ganesha, Dharmic Pillars comes out. Kumbhakarna takes a little...
This is not enough follow-up. Dharmic Pillars used? It's not enough. So the one big thing, though, from that last team fight that had come out was Hera is using the ult in situations where she's almost guaranteed to get no damage off. It's a very short ult. I haven't
seen Argus drop.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's dying as soon as he has that initial drop down. She's dying immediately.
He needs to dump it on the people who are either going to kill Argus,
or you just hold it and look to make a play as soon as you come back. Because honestly, there's not really anything that's going to be made off those situations.
For Oracle is a potential fight going through.
Hera does go pen boost here, though.
The Oracles were split.
The
2 on the left
sure.
Side. And Hera did go the pen boots opposed to cooldown boots, which I think is interesting because right now she's very behind Kumbhakarna up into the air. And this should just finish him off. There's nothing here, just the grab and stun. There's nothing they could do in response to that. The jungler wasn't in position for it. Raijin took a little bit of poke, but nothing much, and Hera can't follow up. Very well executed pick. The Kumbhakarna here is falling so far behind, too. Like, every pick on that Kumbha is just pushing him further and further back. He's 3 levels down right now. There isn't a disparity like that anywhere on the map.
Kumba is having a really rough time. A lot of it, too, is that Kumba is rotating, and like the problems that were coming out are there's so much pressure in the mid lane by mid camps that Kumba's constantly playing peel, back foot, catch up. If you notice, too, he's never able to split the wave. Hera clears the wave again before
they've got to be patient. They've got to be patient. Like, blue team is waiting for, or Team Optimal is waiting for to be able to split with their either 2 ways, 3 ways, whatever. The mid camps are split there by teams. Looking for a little bit of poke. Naja comes out. That's it. Look at the rotation coming in. Potential. They know this is happening now.
Yeah, Pride's looking to lock this down.
Maybe they don't.
Well, I don't think that.
Argus comes out here and whiffs. The epic uppercut also comes out. This is a very, very sloppy fight. Regurgitate in.
They need to disengage
Terra-
off of this
Terra
immediately.
over.
They can't take this fight.
Ganesha does fall.
That
They're looking like they're getting
Ryzen is
picks.
so
They might
much.
get 3 picks here. Bakasur is going to fall down in return. No, he does not. The tower doesn't kill him. On the left side, the Hunters are fighting as well. Cupid's getting the better end of this. His ultimate is down. Haji beads are down. Hachimon's got to ult out here. Kumba's here for the peel. And Cupid's got to reset. There's too many people here.
That fight on
very
paper
bold.
definitely should have not have went towards Kraken. I mean, towards Pride as hard as it did, but that Terra with that Bakasura ult just tore apart the backline.
Hera needs to be DPSing this. He shouldn't be. And Kumba used his Mez on the Gold Fury. But Kumba Karna should be solely zoning right now. Cupid's on purple buff, but they do know that.
This is a free gold.
It's a free Gold Fury. But Kumba Karna does nothing to damage the Gold Fury. He should be solely on zone.
The one thing that I do want to point out that was really good from Pride, even though it didn't work out, was the Terra knockup into the Kumba ult. That shows that you trust your teammates.
Yeah, the Hera knockup into the Kumba ult was
The
definitely...
Kumba trusted
There's
the
a
Hera.
trust. Despite
Exactly,
them being behind, Kumba being very behind, Hera being behind them losing, there's still a trust.
Well,
There
this
isn't-
brings them
tilt
right
is not
back
a
into the
factor
game.
right
This is a tie game now.
now. Exactly. And that's perfect for the mentality for these little league teams to have. That was a clear representation of confidence
Yeah.
in their level of play, despite how the play went out. They trust each other.
Well, that's what exactly. Following up, going in, that was just really good from Pride, and that's probably what helped them win that team fight in the back end. So right now we have it's kind of like the stare off in mid. What's going to happen now is teams are gradually going to start to fight for control of vision.
Yeah, they're
Fire
right now.
Giant and Pyromancer. The one thing though that Kraken has to do is keep eyes on that Bakasura. It's very easy for him to go over
That
there
last
with his
fight,
6 minions.
Bakasura and Terra turned this.
Yeah,
Turn
it's
them.
very
That was
easy
the
for
only reason
Bakasura to go over there, pressure that Pyromancer even by himself. He's opted into the stone cutting now. He has tons of damage at this point in the game. 4-1.
He's
While
worth the most out of everybody. He's the
I
highest net worth.
really like the utility build coming out of Naja. What we're going to see is probably a Wing Blade here with the Talaria boots. That is a great setup build. That is a very
Utility build.
selfless build. Yeah.
Especially because of the Bakasura.
Yeah.
Bakasura ults you. Wait a second, you bring him up. His ultimate is practically useless because every Bakasura is going to activate Butcher Blades when they ult. And that Butcher Blades is going to be gone by the time they land. And then they can just
Terra
blow him
going
up.
into a shard here with. So generally, you build a little bit more power. This is very early pen. Now, if you're going a Magus and a god that does well with Magus like the Raijin, it's very common to pick up.
Yeah, it's
pen that
very...
early. But a shard this early, it's gonna be. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna do a lot. It's still gonna be effective into like the Ardios and the Ganesh because Ganesh has the
I'm
tank
going to have to
and an
interrupt you
Oni
here because there
hunter.
might be an invade coming out. No, they decide against it. They don't have that timer.
I don't think they have timer.
They
And also,
especially with
wards
their
are.
lead, they need to have those wards up there.
Well, see, Pride does have that sentry. You know, Pride's very well aware of what's going on. That's why they stack on the red buff the way they do.
Also,
They
this
clear
rotation
that.
from Ario is just kind of awkward. I mean,
Well,
the rotations for both teams are just kind of
I
awkward.
just
They're kind
think
of
that
just
Ario-
meandering for something to do when they're really not
Ardio
going to get
took.
anything.
So the thing to note though is that they're focusing Gold Fury side of the map while Pyro's up. Pride could easily sneak this
Yes.
Pyromancer, but Bakasura is actually looking for a fight here. He's looking
No,
for
it
he gets
looks like-
ward control. Yeah.
There's nothing...
Terra's on her red right now. She did walk over Kraken's ward to get up there. They do know she's on the right side of the map, and Ardio's going over there to do the same, it looks like, just to make sure that no one's getting any more pressure. Pick up the blue. I really want to see one team ward the Fire Giant here.
It looks like they're not
There
really
is-
going to do
there is a-
anything about this.
There is a sentry for Kraken on the Pyromancer.
Yeah, they're... Right now, just I feel like everybody's just going to be meandering for position right now.
What's what it
It's
is?
gonna be really awkward.
At
and
this
nothing's
point,
really
they're
gonna
going to wait for the next Gold Fury. It's going to be the next fight then, because Pyromancer it doesn't seem to appeal. Now, Terra's backing. No one's aware of this, so nothing really bad should come from it.
Now, something I do want to mention. The Hunters. We haven't talked about them a lot, because a whole lot of nothing has been happening. Cupid's been throwing out his ultimate and getting Hachi beads or his
Oh,
ultimate
here we
or
go.
whatever. But
Bakasura ult in mid, a little off the mark. Raijin goes
Raijin
up in
ult
response.
comes out and
Really good
nothing.
fear. Good fear. Good disengage. You know what? He's
Very
not
well
afraid to throw that out. You know, he has a good amount. He has 20% CDR. I mean, honestly, you got nothing for it. Bakasura loses his minions. Bakasura loses a lot more for that, and that's the big ult that terrifies Raijin. It's
exactly. Now Raijin is perfectly safe to do whatever he wants right now. The Bakasura is the main threat other than the Hachimon to this Raijin, and now Raijin's got that freedom Terra is getting into her Soul Reaver now, which I'm going to assume it's going to be a Soul Reaver because that's the most common item.
Do you feel that's a little bit early? I would have liked to see maybe like a Spirit Robe first or something like that for the crowd control.
The main thing with Soul Lanes, you go your boots, you go your defense item, your other defense item of the other kind, and then you go into either your E-Staff or your Soul Reaver.
Okay.
And depending on the Soul Laner. I personally prefer E-Staff on everybody. It's just I like the CCR it gives and the health it gives. Otherwise, I mean, the Soul Reaver's still very strong. You could see what this Terra can do to some of these.
Exactly, yeah.
If she gets it on Raijin, Raijin's taking at least half, if not more.
Oh, exactly.
If she gets her whole combo.
And ideally, that's going to be followed up, by that Bakasura ult. And
Exactly.
that's going to be... So Gold Fury's coming up here very shortly, and now we're going to start to see the dance around the Gold Fury. Pyromancer has not been taken, this whole game. All the focus has been...
To be fair, when has there been time? Kumba ult comes out here. It looks like a fight's going to be engaged. Ardio's got Bakasura. Dharmic Pillar's coming in. Bakasura ult comes out as well, but he's zoned out from the Dharmic Pillars. He's going to get severely punished here. Hachiman Argus is out pretty late here. Cupid ult is pretty big. Kumbhakarna is going to fall here. Argus is down as well. Hera is chased down by the tank.
Raijin continuing to chase this out. Raijin picks it up with his pat. Raijin picks it up with the one.
This fight has optimal game all over it.
2-0 for Kraken, yeah. 3-0. This is gonna be a 3-0, and Terra falls.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. Yeah.
This was
4-0. 3 Gold Fury. That's a free Fire Giant at this point in the game.
Exactly.
That's fine. They're going for Fire Giant. That's a really good call by that shot call. Very good play. Free Fire Giant.
I'm assuming Enclave is the one calling, because everything they do seems to be around Enclave's movements and his ability uses. That Dharmic Pillars was incredible. Fight. It was perfectly placed.
Kraken, after that one misplay, that one issue they had with the Bakasura, they've done such a good job of keeping him out of the fight.
Exactly. That Dharmic Pillars did that perfectly. Ardio had him fighting. Ganesha places the pillars to zone him off.
Is that free fire?
Can't go in because he's too low.
They'll pick up Pyro because why not? They'll Ganesha ult it. They're not going to need that ult until it's up again while they siege. And there we go. We had the first real league of this game for Kraken. 5k up and a Fire Giant.
And I have to keep harping back to this Ganesha. He's doing so well. Enclave is playing out of his mind right now.
I mean, Papa Mo also on the Raijin. He's had a pretty good Raijin so far. I mean, we're going to go into the Shaman's ring here, it looks like next. Really wants to spread out that team fight damage with that Raiju. Really wants to make sure that not only is that Magus putting in work, but he's amplifying the damage off of that.
Now, here's something interesting. Look at the player damage, right? Ardio's on top, and then the next two members are from Pride. And then it's just... Hera is at the bottom.
Yeah, it just comes down to
Hera's lack of damage. She's not doing enough.
It just comes down to even...
Blue lane right now, Bakasura gets zoned out and picked. That was just...
Oh, the nice little Valve spam taunt that they call them.
Don't label me like that. He spam laughed, he didn't spam taunt. I push all my keys way too quickly. I'm the
here we go.
fastest
Now we got
the West.
Siege. We got the Siege coming out and left. They're gonna give up this T1 100%.
Where is Cupid going? I'm sorry, I don't know where he went. But
okay, so
Terra's on the right side here.
Yeah, Terra's gonna return T1 for T1. This is fine because now is she gonna probably teleport to this tower? I'm assuming, or are they giving this up?
He has to teleport now, unless they're giving it up. Hachiman gets engaged on here. Good polymorph out of the Hera though. Damage coming out. Argus missing the knockup, but coming in as well. That Hachiman falls down to the Cupid. Cupid has to reset. Right, Terra came in very, very late. That was just a misplay from Pride.
There was a misplay.
Ardio is still going.
Both sides.
Kumbhakarna misses here. Terra almost
Ardio's
down. She's going to get punished for this.
Caught the root. Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Now, that's what we call a Val.
What happened there was you have the initial engage onto that T2. Kraken was not on board with that call, everyone, because the Raijin was nowhere near. They were not ready for that. They were looking there. I think they were spotting out, waiting for the Terra to come in. They were waiting for that siege. Terra TP's in late, and then that fight just completely goes the way of Kraken until the overextension from space. We have a DC coming out right now from Chaos. There's like Shadow's DC. I guess we'll wait for him to get back in.
While we're waiting, I want to talk about that that last fight. Terra came way too late. She is level 19 right now, ahead of every member of Optimal except for the Cupid, who she's even with. She teleported incredibly late and did absolutely nothing. She still has the Earthen Fury, and she has to be there. With one teammate already down, the Bakasur are getting picked, and if you're going to defend that, you have to have everybody there in a 4v5.
Well, that's the big question. In your guys' opinion, both of you, what do we think? Would you guys defend that tower, or would you opt to give it up at that point?
If Terra's not coming, I'm giving it up.
I think I give it. I just
nothing.
felt like I wouldn't be in a position to defend that. I think I wouldn't want to bank the now 7K on that defense.
Looks like the game's unpaused here. They're just going to reset after their.
What's up? Okay. Yeah, what time are you guys at?
20, 21, 23.
24, 25. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it is weird. I thought I was desync 2 before. No. Yeah.
How do we feel about Cupid with crit? I don't like it.
I'm not a huge fan, but considering the fact that he's gotten away with it with very little to no punishment, and a lot of his ults are just locking that Kuma down and murdering him, I think that it's fine. The situation, he gets away with it. Typically, obviously, the power pen's preferred, but
You kind of build Cupid like a Neath more so.
Yeah, but you know, it's Smite. When you're far enough ahead, you can pretty much build whatever you want within reason, and you'll be fine.
It's as long as it fits into your category.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Ganesha picked up Emperor's Armor, which forces Kumbhakarna to pick it up. Because one, they're already going to blink out in mid, missing the Naja. Oh, they might get a punish here. Naja seems to be able to get out. Ario's in with a great peel. Hachimon's going to fall down? No.
Hachi gets that 1 HP.
That's a 5-man knockup.
That is a very late Argus. The Argus has got to come out where Terra or someone can do something off of it.
This reads to me inexperience with the character. That's all I'm getting from it.
I mean, again though, he brought it out. He's comfortable with the god, obviously enough to play it in his, quarterfinals game, and he had no air to breathe in lane. He had a lot of pressure on him constantly,
But even then, like, he's so far behind. Those Arguses, from what we've seen, those Arguses have had little to no impact.
I agree with that factor, but I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt to the fact that there's a huge big fight breaking out here.
This is big. The
pillars, everything. That's a massive Cupid ult. That is a huge Cupid ult. Terra goes down again.
This is the game. If Terra falls here, this should be the game.
At least a mid Phoenix. At least a mid Phoenix off of this. Bakasura still has ult. That's their one chance to hold this in mid. If they go to, no, they're gonna wait for fire.
Bakasura has to kill their entire team right now.
They're playing it safe. They
cannot contest this.
They're like, you know what? We're in quarterfinals. This is the tournament. Let's back up. Let's get vision, which is what they're backing right now. Get vision on fire. Get fire. Be safe. Push down mid. We're confident that right now we're the better team. We're in the driver's seat. We'll win the team fight. We're not worried about fighting.
Exactly. And that's what I want to see.
That's really smart. That's confidence.
You don't need to rush this down. I mean, 100%. I was kind of screaming for the end there. I think it would have worked out.
Look at the ward control coming out from Kraken. It's really, really good. They have great ward control right now. And this is a good decision. Take the farm you can get in the part of the map you know they're not. They can easily return a T1 over here and left with the Bakasura. And then you just back up and get ready for your defense. Get a little bit of gold in your pocket. They're running a little bit deep now. They're kind of staying around for a bit. They gotta just get this and get back. Because that right tower is gonna be gone before they know it.
While they're sieging right here and there's no fight, there's no possible fight breaking out, I want to take another look at player damage. You see, top is Terra. And then Hera, and then nobody else isn't even. Yeah. There's not enough lockdown damage. Yeah. Is this a base race? I don't know why they're backing.
No, they're back. No, they have to back. Why? Oh, Kraken's back. They have to finish their last items. No, they're gonna push far side Phoenix from fire.
I like that.
It's being safe. It's saying we're gonna get this Phoenix. We'll full commit to this Phoenix, and it will set us up for the next fire giant.
Maybe
it's a really safe call. I think they could have pushed near side just because the fact that they're forced backs over from Pride, and they could have potentially got them in a position where they're not prepared to defend. But this is a safe call, and there's really nothing wrong with it at the end of the day.
Have you ever thought maybe we're too risky, Des? Maybe we should play safer like this.
I mean, this is the way. This is the way you close out a tournament game. Honestly, they're doing it the right way.
Yeah. And they're
A Chronos
Their
pendant.
opposition
That's a
doesn't really
late
answer.
Chronos pendant from the Raijin, but that gives him the full CDR that he's looking for. I'm assuming he's going into some big heavy hitter item at the end of this
Blast.
build.
It's gonna be
I'm
like a
thinking,
rod,
based on his
maybe a gem.
playstyle, yeah, based on Popmall's playstyle, I'm assuming it's the rod. He really likes that item, but
But the gem
as
is also
far
a
as-
viable option.
I think what would give him the most, honestly, is he would pick up a shard here.
I mean, as of right now, we might not even be able to see
He might,
him getting this last item because they're looking to siege up on the left side. Bakasura is still in mid. This push is pretty optimal. They need to watch this Bakasura on the backside. They know he's there. They're looking to commit to him as soon as he comes in. They're waiting for Bakasura to
This
pull
is
the
smart
trigger
from
so they can
Baka,
blow
though.
him up.
All Baka's doing is taking some focus away from what Kraken wants to do, slowing things down.
But at this point, the sash misses, and they're just going to wait. Bakasura is coming back in. I think he just needs to keep doing
No,
what he's doing.
Bakasura's just doing what he's doing. He's just buying time. The
Exactly.
terror walls have got to be used when follow-up can be applied.
Yeah.
Throwing them outside the Phoenix like that
Dash
is
on
just
Bakasura.
inviting Kraken to come. Oh,
The Magi's is down. The Magi's is down. Now
Baka's gotta
Bakasura
be-
can't really do that anymore. Dharmic Pillars comes out here, forcing everybody back. Although positioning the Terra blinks in on the backside. The Bakasura is in as well. Raijin's getting destroyed
Cupid is
right
getting
now.
melted.
The carries are obliterated. Ganesha is
Ganesha's
also
gonna
going to fall. And there's nothing they
Ganesha
can
gets
do.
out with 1 HP. Naja's still full HP. Naja has not been touched. Naja can kind of make sure.
Ardio has
Ardio's
also been
way
fully
up
but he
there.
dove, and then the backside, the Cupid ult coming out here. Terra knockup was
The
incredible
Cupid
there,
ult
followed up by the
used
mounted archery.
defensively? Oh, and the
And it's just-
re-engage off the Cupid ult.
Catastrophic.
That was a
What I
really
thought
good
was going to be
defensive ult.
catastrophic for Optimal is just not.
Yeah, they're too far ahead.
Ganesha was
Space
was
is
a lick
so
away from
far
dying.
ahead on that RDO that
That
he literally can go in, take the backline with him and the Phoenix, and allow that Naja and Cupid to set up for the re-engage when he
I
goes
really
to
like
leave.
the ult there. The Mez comes out, was interrupted. The Cupid's looking to shred the Phoenix, looking to go on Kumbhakarna here. He's resetting, and this is just a... Ardio's back in now. She TP'd in. This Phoenix Siege is gonna
Bakasura is
go.
up in 5 seconds though, so they gotta
But
get
does
this
that
right
even
now.
matter?
They need to
Dharmic
leave.
Pillars comes
Hachi's,
out,
there's no way Hachi gets
down
out of
to
this.
25. He is gone. Bakasura's back in, but can he save it? He's tickling this Ardio right now. Kumbhakarna comes out with the root, and nothing's to come of it. They're going to reset.
Well, and
push up
Bakasura
in.
has the Kins and Butcher Blades, but other than that, what he has built is not necessarily effective. Like, the Stonecutters will help, but realistically stacking it and actually staying on here at this point is just, it's not gonna happen.
If he's going to do that, he needs an Executioner. He's going into Bloodforge right now, is what I'm assuming. Or at least I hope it is.
I mean, I like the Bloodforge from him. He has the majority of the kills from his team, so he's the one who's saying, I'm gonna get the kill, I'm gonna stay in the fight, I'm gonna keep it going.
We look at the player damage. He has the majority of the kills, but he's so low on the player damage right now. He needs to be getting these picks. That last fight was great for the Bakasura. He got the pick on the Raijin. Unfortunately, wasn't able to
Yeah, great Bakasura ult. Now,
And
Cupid,
the Terra ult was
that's
also
a big
incredible.
spot. That's a big power spike for Cupid. He just finished the Deathbringer now. So Cupid is really going to be swinging right now with this
He
triple
hurts.
crit.
He hits hard. And as this Kumbhakarna, who is
Now the thing
only
that
level 17 with
now with the Cupid doing as much as he's doing, because he's doing a ton of damage in these fights. We have no Nemean. We have no anti-crit to speak of.
But can they even go that? Because Ardio can't really fit it into... I mean, not Ardio. Terra can't fit it into her build, really. She's got it. She wants to go that Oni Hunter's Guard.
I mean,
and
in
her
all
defense is limited.
reality, do you really need the Oni Hunters? The Raijin's only sitting at 15k. He's not doing nearly as much.
But it may feel... For the Terra, who's in that backline all the time, she may feel like she's tankier against the Cupid, and the Raijin's the one that's shredding her. Which I'm assuming it
Kraken
is. because of
picks
the
up
amount of
their
damage
third
he has.
Fire Giant of the game.
Yeah, this is looking all but over.
Well,
Unless
I mean-
there's some turnaround from Pride.
Well, the one big thing from Pride is that they have 3 great defensive characters. They have the Hera,
They do.
Terra, and Kumba.
And that's why it's been so hard for these Phoenix
Yeah.
Sages, because Terra blinks it on the back, Bakasura blinks on the back, he pukes on everybody, and he just starts going to town. This cube, that Raijin, you saw how quickly that Raijin got shredded last fight.
Now this is literally, now they know, they're saying, okay, if Bakasura comes, this time if Bakasura comes up to harass them in mid, he has no Phoenix to run to.
Exactly, and the
Yeah.
Magi's is down, he does have his beads up.
Ardio
Look at
engages.
this on the backside, Bakasura's looking for it again, and he's going to get it. The
This-
Regurgitate was
this could be-
completely
this
off
could-
the mark. And this fight is just over. No, Space falls. Optimal Crack looking to getting re-engaged on here. The Koopa card is sending up Cupid. Cupid is forced to beads and Aegis. He's going to dash out. Probably not going to escape here, but no. The chase down is so good right now.
Argus just absorbed so much.
He just took so much damage and did
from
so
that
much.
Raijin. Yeah.
I was harping on how this Terra was
Cupid's
doing
caught.
enough. She's now
Oh,
bringing
the
it up.
wall's a little
Cupid
bit late.
is down.
That could have been a ping thing.
That silence
That
was
was
so well
definitely
timed,
a
but they're
big
looking
hit.
for the Ganesha now, looking to pick him up for his retribution, or for the retribution. Now,
This is easy. This is a return Phoenix.
this
honestly.
is a return Phoenix, a free
Actually,
return Phoenix.
maybe not though. They left the wave up there. The wave's nowhere near them. They're gonna
But
have
I
to
don't
bully
think
down 2 of these.
At least the tower.
At least
gonna
the
fall
tower.
here.
And, yeah.
Look at how far back Ganesh is playing. Now it's just going
The
in here.
wave's
You need to
coming
commit
up
to him.
now.
Raijin coming out here. Ganesha, the dash off the mark. The Raijin almost killing Hera.
One more hit. Oh, so close.
That was almost enough to just completely deter. It was enough to completely deter.
The
Now
Naja
he's blinking
play-
in, chasing the Terra down. Kumbhakarn is looking to back here. He's just leaving Terra. Hachiman is out as well. He gets the back off. Terra, they need to keep chasing this. No,
No, they're
they aren't
trying
going
to
to.
get-
Kumba's
No.
in mid. They're looking to pick on him. The sash misses, and they're just going to
Kimber
reset
looks like
off
he's
that.
out. So that last fight in mid, what went wrong was when they went in to engage, Ardio had a target and Naja had a target. There were split
And-
targets. DPS was not sure who to go on, and that results in Space dying way under the Phoenix alone.
Now, what I've seen a lot of the time, these late game fights from these lower level teams that the Little League has, the lower level teams, and they know how to play the early game, how to pressure and do their stuff, but once it comes to late game, they start to slip up, and that's exactly what's happening to Optimal right now. They're just slipping up, and they're not calling the right targets, or whatever's happening in their comms isn't going right.
Well, what is it? It's just we've all been there. All 3 of us have all played at a high level of Smite, and you look at it as when you're sieging. First siege doesn't go that well. You're like, okay, whatever. Second siege doesn't go that well. The time you start doing it the third time, you have to get a little bit antsy. You have to take a little bit more of a risk, and that's where this opens up. But sometimes you have to take the risk because if Pride is fine playing on that back foot, and they don't really mind dealing with the sieges, then they don't. You have the enhanced fire giant. We don't care. We can defend. We've shown we can defend.
Exactly.
Eventually, that gets very hard to deal with when you're sieging and you can't break the base. The Cupid going the crit is not doing them any favors when it comes to sieging.
I want him to sell that Wind Demon and get a Titan's Bane.
Yeah, ideally,
he's
he's doing so much burst damage, I really think he's getting no use out of the Wind Demon. I could definitely agree with that.
I feel like the Cupid ult just isn't doing enough now. Like before, the
Well,
Dharma
I mean,
Pillars into the
yeah.
Cupid ult was just obliterating.
No, I mean, that was like that level lead and that pressure and that gold that Cupid had.
But
Now that
still,
things are
he was
starting
the
to get
perfect
caught up,
Crushing them.
he'd be doing a lot. Yeah, I mean, Hachiman's also not the best late game hunter. You know, Hachi's just that all around good hunter.
But you look at Hachiman's build, right? He's able to shred those. towers
Raijin
out of
opts
those
actually into a Discord. You know, that's, I mean, I like it.
I like it because of Bakasura, right?
I know,
if Bakasura's
exactly.
CC immunity is out by the
Yeah.
time he gets that Discord, Bakasura should die.
He's getting pressured, and he's feeling the pressure, and he's responding. This is really smart. Sometimes as a
But
mid
that-
laner, you get into that habit of, I need to have more damage, but it doesn't matter. On paper, you'd be doing more. But
The
that's
thing
not
is, you can have more damage items, but if you're dead, you're not doing that
Exactly.
damage. Bakasura, again, this looks like a repeat from
Baka-
earlier on, getting
That's
completely
the
caught out.
Magi. He's caught out. He could die for
Grab
this.
is going to miss. Ardio's on the backside. Dharmic Pillars comes out.
Defensive
Bakasura
ult,
has to
he's
regurgitate
down.
defensively. He's gone. That was just
That
no
was a-
board,
that-
bad
that was a-
positioning. You got to be paying attention to what's going on around you.
That was Pride not keeping up with Fire Giant timers.
Exactly.
If they had the Fire Giant timer written down in the chat, they would have an idea it's coming up and not to be around there. That's really unfortunate. The good news is that Baka did beads, but he's going to have the he's gonna have his Magi's up at least when he gets up.
I gotta keep harping back to Enclave. He's playing this so well right now. If supports don't get enough credit, right? He is doing. I would say he's like basically carrying his team right now. He is doing an incredible job right now. All the setup he's doing, all the engaging, all the call. I'm assuming he's making the calls because he's always in front. He's always the one in charge. What direction the team is facing is dependent on where he is. Everything he is doing is helping this team right now have a very dominant performance over Pride. If I were the other teams, I'd be afraid. because of how much dominance they have right now in this game.
I'm not sure there's anything to be afraid of. I mean, they're defending very well.
I'd be afraid of Enclave because of how incredible he's playing. The mid lane, they're split up here. Duo side, they're looking up to push. Ganesha's kind of in the middle, kind of floundering a bit. They've got 3 in the mid now. Ganesha, no, rotating back left. And they're just trying to split their defense, I guess?
They're splitting defense, and they're also
that was
like
a bait. It was a bait. Yeah. That was a great bait. They actually have an initiative onto this Phoenix now. But Ganesha needs to be in there! Cupid and Ganesha needs to be in there. They had the initiative. And they didn't take it.
That's the Magi's off of Bakasura again. That's really big. Bakasura has no beat. They're aware of that. So if Bakasura tries anything again, they should be able to pick him up before the fight even starts.
And no Magi's too. They've got another 40 seconds till this happens. Ardio's pushing, shoving in mid wave, keeping Bakasura there. If somebody could keep Bakasura busy, or just straight up, when he engages, you have to reset, wait for his CC immunity down, and just kill it. He is
that should be a kill.
That jump in, he is dead.
That's exactly what they needed to do.
That is a guaranteed kill. That's exactly what they needed. And Regurgitate comes out too. There's nothing. They engage on the Terra. Terra gets absolutely obliterated by the Dharmic Pillars and Cupid damage. And now this fight is going to go awful for Pride. The engage, the Cupid ult comes out. Kumbhakarna is getting shredded right now. Down into the passive. This game is all but over. Hachiman forced to ult back into the base. Kumbhakarna is going to fall. And this is done.
That's the game. Surrender vote comes out for Pride.
This should just be a free end right now. Ganesha and Ardio are zoning off. They'll just commit to the Titan. There's nothing they can really do to stop you.
Yeah,
this game is over.
Game.
Well done.
That was really well played. They took advantage of getting that Magi's off by the Fire Giant. That was really good.
Good capitalization.
Very, very well.
If they waited another like 10, 15 seconds for that, Bakasura's beads would have been up. His Magi's would have been up. There was no kill.
Yeah.
They waited for the Bakasura to make a mistake again, and they did it. I gotta say, that game, if you're gonna put anybody on MVP, I gotta put my vote to Enclave.
Enclave played that really well. I definitely agree on that. What do you think, Slimer? MVP for that game?
I would say the MVP would definitely be Enclave.
Yeah, 100%.
So well.
Well then, that is the quarterfinals game of Pride versus who?
Pride versus Optimal Kraken.
Pride versus Optimal Kraken. So now we'll take a little bit of a break while we prepare for the next game, which will be Optimal Kraken versus... I wouldn't know. Does anyone know?
Let's pull up the bracket real fast.
Truly organized.
We haven't been messaged anything yet.
Best.
What's the best of three?
It's the best of three.
Ignore what I said then. So it will be a repeat. Is this game 1 that was finished there?
Game 1, match D.
Okay.
The best of 3. We'll be back.
Well, we'll be back when they get back in game then.
right, everybody, welcome back to the set between Team Pride and Optimal Kraken. Last game, Optimal Kraken did take it. Sorry, spoilers. I'd say in a pretty dominant fashion. Last game, the support Enclave did incredible work with his team, and they kind of just ran over it after a certain point, right? But looking back, Team Pride's comp is incredible. Their comp is brutal. They have great engage. They have great defense, great offense, great follow-up, huge amount of chase down, lots of lockdown and CC. I love it. Des, who are you favoring in this situation with the two comps?
Based off the draft, I'm definitely looking at the Pride. Pride has very much of the mid to early game team fight pressure with that Hachi and that Erlang into the Outflash ult. They have a lot of mid camp control, but definitely team fight.
I think they're looking to invade here onto the speed buff. Or they might be watching for invades. I'm not entirely sure what is. It was just a watching for invades. Okay. Geb is going back with them to the speed buff.
Yeah, Valve, we're at 30 seconds. Speed just spawned. He's going to his XPs right now, Erlang.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm at 5 seconds.
I'm with you, I'm synced with you. Okay.
50. Yeah.
I'm paused at 50.
Same.
1 second, we'll just get ourselves synced up.
Alright. Back into it here. The Geb, actually. Starting with the Blink. Interesting. Opposed to the Teleport in solo lane. How do you feel about that, Des?
The Blink in solo, I don't really see where the traditional value is, but I'm sure it's been talked through with the team. Maybe for invades on the enemy blue or something like that. I could see maybe getting some use out of it.
Exactly. On the left side here, heavy poke was taken down. Hachimon ended up taking a bird bomb from the dual lane. Cupid Odin, an incredibly aggressive lane, versus Jingchen Hachimon, which is the exact opposite. Very passive. Bird bomb coming out again and nothing to come of it. It looks like pretty standard from everybody. Opwash getting some poke onto the Naja, and every lane is going as expected. Nothing too exciting happening here. The Geb just clearing out creeps, trying to get that Guardian stacked. And dual lane, again, just doing what they're supposed to. Heavy poke onto the Odin here. I thought that might have been a kill. No. Neither team has Horrific, interestingly enough. No sprint. They have Sprint. Again, both teams have opted for the Sprint, not the Horrific. Do you think there's a particular reason for that? Like, do you think
I think that they could have definitely... Oracle Control goes over to Team Kraken. I think that just comes down to the fact that they both could have been worried the other was getting Horrific, and they were trying to just play around that, even though Horrific does have that shorter cooldown.
I like the Sprint out of Team Pride because of the Cupid. Cupid ults, you sprint, you get out of it. Pretty much free. Ardio taking some pretty hefty damage on this right side, while Geb seems to be sitting pretty. They're both going to heal up. They're solo laners, so they kind of just smack each other. Otherwise, though, I'm kind of surprised to see just how far this Ardio is willing to push to keep this Geb under. Because Geb in the late game is absolutely terrifying. To say the least. Geb does quite a bit of damage, has so much CC, and those shields are incredible. Especially when you're able to build that E-staff, you just do so much to their carries.
Mystic is opting into the same start that Maul went into last game with the early Spear of the Magus. This time as opposed to that book rush after the boots.
Well, I feel like it's a difference between characters, too.
Yeah.
With Opwash, you can do that. With Hera, you're not buying Spear for any reason.
Agreed, yeah.
Hera just doesn't do the same thing that Opwash can do with the Spear. And I like the Opwash pickup here. Because Hera, I don't know if he was comfortable on it. I believe, yeah, it was banned away by Optimal Kraken. But it was a big part of their defenses. But Opwash is just that much more in terms of the defense and the offense. Also, earlier in the game, just a stronger pick overall. Interestingly enough, last game we didn't see Opwash picked or banned.
I mean, if they do with that same game plan of the dive on the mid laner strategy, Outwash actually has the ability to just ult and then die, and the ult will persist. So it gives them a lot more ease of execution in the comp.
Because of that recent change. Right side mids going over to Optimal Kraken here. No real contestation out of Team Pride. Not that they really could, considering the support's still on left side, which is actually an early rotation out of the Odin. I like this, because the Odin can provide that pressure. I'm pretty sure they picked the Odin in order to respond to the Opwash. We weren't able to see picks and bans, unfortunately, but this Odin pick is incredibly strong against the Erlong, the Opwash, and the Hachiman.
Yeah, it's a great,
so,
yeah.
It was a great pickup, definitely. Although, I still want to say, like, the Odin can only do so much. Like, the comp from out of Team Pride is just so good. Xing Chen has incredible engage, CC, and he can prevent so much damage out of that with that Furious Roar from the Cupid. And if Cupid goes that crippled again, he's gonna be feeling the amount of damage he's losing. Oracle's coming up, Team Optimal Kraken looking to pick him up. Quick and easy, no contention. Looks like Team Pride is just content to just stay back, farm a little bit, and look to maybe punish some over-aggression here. Erlong Shen on the right side looking to pick up this Ardio. Geb coming in, the knock-up to prevent the root. Taunt, Cataclysm out, the dash is through, and Ardio should be out. I think that gank was a little bit... They got a little bit overzealous, and they committed too much too early. You gotta wait for that dash to come out. The Geb ulted on top of the Erlang ult, preventing... Kind of just nullifying the CC. An invade going on the left side. Nothing to come of it. Cupid's able to force him back. And everybody's back to the farm. Interestingly enough, who do you want to see pick up the Phantom? I think that's why do you know what? That's probably why Gab didn't pick up the teleport.
Yeah, I mean, I could
Because he
definitely
wants to
see
blink
that.
for the engage and then the Phantom.
I look for the, I mean, the early thing with the Odin rotating early is there is no Phantom right now. So that Odin gets that pick, it's almost a guaranteed kill with the Kraken with the Outwash beads.
Yeah, exactly. Opwash, and yeah, Opwash doesn't even have Aegis. He does have beads, because I'm assuming because of that Naja. So now, Opwash is pretty much a sitting duck for that cage. There's no way for him to get out.
Yeah.
Except for killing everybody before he dies. And right now, again, nothing's going to... They're not doing anything with it. I mean, the Odin should start doing stuff with it now. They've got to start at some point before that level 12 mark hits for this, either this Geb or this Jing. And it's just going to... It's going to do nothing until they actually are active with it. They have the Kraken, they have it.
The other issue, though, coming in you have to look at is what... It's not easy to engage onto Outwash. You know, it's not the easiest god to go in on, even with the Odin, because they have the Erlang, and then they have a Xing Chen to peel it off. So they have to be very careful where they pick these fights.
But at the same time, if Erlang's up ahead, cage the Erlang, kill him. He's got no way out either.
Yeah.
They're not proactive with this Odin cage right now. They need to force a fight. And looks like there's going to be an invade on the right side potentially, or there's a very tense grouping in mid. The Odin gets knocked up here, and they're just going to reset. Just a reset. Invading the blue buff on the right side. Naja's there with Ardio. Cataclysm comes out. Very good Cataclysm, and it gets him out. Blue buff does fall in the favor of Optimal Kraken. while red buff invade came out from Pride. Good response. Looking at duo side here, the gank coming out, the taunt onto the Cupid. Knockup is successful. The beads were come out late, and this Cupid's dead to rights. There's nothing he can do. And
That's
Optimal
first blood
Kraken.
for Pride.
Exactly, Optimal Kraken still have everything. Nobody came for rotation for the cage, potential pickup, nothing.
They're
They're just kind of sitting on their hands.
but they're focusing the Odin in the mid lane to try to pick up that Outquash and Erlang. That was unexpected. I don't think they thought that would go the way it did with that matchup in lane.
Yeah, but I mean, Cupid beads late. He didn't dump the ultimate. He could have prevented the knock-up, and just gotten out. While, either way, I just feel like Optimal Kraken is kind of just sitting on their hands right now. Maybe riding the high of their victory of last game, but they've got to start something. It's a bit more invading on the right side again. Just taking more and more farm away from this Erlang Shen. Naja does more than likely have a half-level lead right now after he collects his buff over here on the right side. Otherwise, nothing really happening. Everybody's content to farm up, which I like. They're both very late-game teams. On the right side here, Ardio's looking to getting engaged on, and there's nothing to stop. The sprint comes out too. Nothing was able to stop the Ardio dash. Cataclysm wasn't up or wasn't used. And in the mid lane, now engage. That was an incredible Naja. I'll bring Opwash up. In response, the Kraken is going to come down right a little early with the cage coming down. This is a huge, huge fight. That was a very good catch by Vigil and the guys of Optimal Kraken. And in response, they're looking to pick up a Gold Fury here. Ardio taking the blue buff from right side. Cupid making the rotation. Hiding it in the corner so it isn't as obvious.
Yeah,
I like
Hachi's
this.
Unaware. Yeah, Hachi has no idea.
It's completely free. And with that, the first real lead of this game has been formed. About a 3K lead for Optimal Kraken. What do you do here if you're Team Pride? What's the solution?
If I'm Team Pride, what I try to do is I force issues in other lanes. You cannot win that fight right now. The execution of the Naja ult and Odin ult into the Kraken it's very easy, and you could do it over and over again. And Outwash has no way to survive it.
Exactly.
So you
Cupid
need
ult
to
engaged
fight
on the
in
left
other
side.
lanes.
Infiltrated by the hunters on the left side, and nothing to come of it.
Yeah, there needs to be something done in other lanes. It has to be something in duo. Maybe look for a sneak up Pyro, sneak an objective. There's a fight going on. Let's take a pick. Ardio is in dangerous position right now.
I don't see how she dies here. Erlang just doesn't have enough right now. The taunt missing on the right side. There's 3 people here right now. 3 ultimates committed to kill this one Ardio. And is it going to be enough? And it may not be. This Ardio, she's doing such a good job at staying alive right now. The shell comes out. Naja's here to save her, and she's out. That was really good. And in the mid lane, Puppamaw solos down the Opwash.
But that's exactly what you said we wanted to see happen, was that force the issue on the other side. That's exactly what they did. So they are on the same page. They are thinking ahead. Pride.
Pride is trying to force stuff, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, it's just
they got punished for trying to force things. They committed 3 ultimates to an Ardio. That's just I just can't see it. Dual lane, Hachiman getting caged here. Odin looking for the pressure. There isn't much going to come of this. Hachiman probably will not die, although the Heart Bomb does connect onto the minions. It's just a lot of pressure right now, because you got to apply pressure to this dual lane. Ardio clearly, after those 3 ultimates were used, Ardio's going to be fine. They can't pressure her. She's done such a good job at keeping herself alive in this in this game that, like, I don't think you can go to her anymore. You're just going to keep getting punished.
The other thing is that Outwash is in such a situation now where he literally can't even clear the wave without being pressured. There's just nothing he can honestly do. He's in a very rough spot. He definitely needs some help from his team right now just to farm.
Speaking of pressure, Ardio's still against 2. No fear. She knows the advantage she has, and she's abusing it. Now, what I don't see, though, there's been a few jungle invades on the right side, but when are we going to start taking this red? When are we going to really start shutting down this Opwash like he needs to? Because right now he's a level down, but he's not like horrifically down. He's still very, very here.
Yeah.
Looks like a bit of an engage in mid lane, nothing to come of it. But yeah, they're just gonna. Team Pride has to play this back, and
That's
they're
what
gonna keep
it is.
doing
They're
it.
just trying to get that Outwash farmed up. That's the
The
plan.
sash on Erlong Shen, he's going up. This Erlong is good as dead right now. The cage coming out, trapping Jing Chen in. Both getting hit by the center of the Kraken and falling down. This is a Pyromancer. And there's just nothing
There's
they could have
no
done.
response to it. I mean, Outwash did what he could do. Maybe he could have ulted a couple seconds earlier, but that's it. That's the only response that there is. It's a free Pyromancer now for Kraken, and it's starting to get a pretty solid lead built up right here now.
Could you say that Kraken was
Optimal.
as? Terrible jokes aside, that was a very good engage by Optimal Kraken. Incredibly good. He saw the sash, he took it, and it was an instant response. Incredible trust. Ardio is so big, she doesn't care. She's gonna invade the speed right now, and she's not gonna get punished for it. And she's even considering fighting here, which is even more incredible. She's still not even half health, and they've dumped half their kits into her. Xing Channel comes out, throwing it back towards the Erlong Shen. Opwash isn't even there anymore. He's got to clear the mid lane, and reinforcements from Optimal Kraken have come in to get her out. Really good invade. Did she end up getting that? She did. She did end up getting the speed. This just keeps getting worse and worse for Team Pride. Everything's falling apart. I mean, at this point, like, you can't really stop the Ardio. The Ardio is just going to keep doing what she wants.
Yeah,
And
you're gonna
she
have
can't
to.
punish it.
You have to bank on that defensive objectives and towers at this point. Honestly, let the enemy team make the mistake when they're aggressing.
And the Kraken coming out whiffing, not the middle part, the sides end up hitting, and it's still enough. Naja ult whiffing on the backside. Hachiman getting put under really big pressure here. The Jing Chen running close. The ring bounce did so much there.
That was a great ring toss.
Jing Chen needed to separate a little bit to make sure that ring bounce didn't go back, and it just didn't happen.
That's a free Gold Fury for Kraken again.
Exactly. Like they have so much pressure in it. They have a full control of this game. With after this Gold Fury, a massive gold lead. Erlong Shen's trying to pick up the pieces of what he can, invading on the right side, but there's only so much you can do. Geb hasn't made any rotation or impact in these fights, while Ardio's just here, and it's something you have to deal with when you can't deal with it. She's tanky, she's very ahead, and you just can't kill her.
The other thing to note is that the Poseidon scales incredibly well, especially off of his 1. So this utility build gives him so much, with so much base damage. Erling's looking to... No, speed invade again.
There's nothing that can be done. Now, you said utility build before. Minaja, again, going for the same utility build.
Yep, movement speed with that nice bit of flat pen.
Look at Geb here. He's going to get caught out and picked. Kraken coming out onto the Geb, and so's the ring. He's as good as dead here. The beads coming out from Poseidon. He might actually get out here. Nobody covered the option. Ardio's going to be able to pick him up, though. Just Geb was too far up.
That was a really good rotation. Honestly.
It was. There just isn't a response from Team Pride. There's nothing they can do. It's kind of just every man for himself right now, and they can't be playing like this. They're not going to win like that. But there's only so much you can do at this point. They have to play it back. They got to defend these tier 2s. First fire, you're going to have to give it away. There's no way you defend fire. And we're coming around the time where fire's going to come up, or fire is up, and they're looking to fight for it.
Like I said, you have to try to capitalize on a misplay at this point. I mean, you have Xing Chen trying to invade the red over here.
He did get it.
He got it.
He had to ult for it, and nothing going to come of it. Naja backs off, content with the gain he got, and now they're down to Xing Chen ult. That's a big peel element for this Opwash too.
They're just, there needs to be like the defense, and I'm looking for it on my Phoenixes, honestly, at this point, because after Fire and 1 T2, this game is at the point where you give up your T2s, just get ready to defend under Phoenix. You have a great defense comp. You can't get down. This is your tournament life hanging in.
Exactly. It's an incredibly strong defensive comp. And look, that's what Optimal Kraken are doing. They're in a very big position for this, and they're just going to set up for it. Cupid's making the rotation all the way from dual lane, and they're looking for picks. They might try to siege down this tower while Cupid's making the rotation. Or they're just going to keep up this pressure.
They can siege. No one's in position to defend this. They're going to have to just... It's going to be down real quick.
So they look like they're putting up a fight for it. Kraken coming out, hitting no one getting hit other than the Geb. Phantom comes out, and that's going to be it. I'm surprised that went so well for Team Pride, considering the disadvantage they had at the start.
I think it was just the Kraken was a little off the mark. If that was a centered hit Kraken, that was a double kill.
Yeah, and I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, I think that fight could have gone better for Pride, but the pickup of Emperor's Armor by Odin just prevents a ton of damage from going down on them, making it okay for them to lose these fights. Pyromancer is pretty much gone at this point. There's no real contention for it, but it looks like they might put up a fight for fire.
They have no vision, though. They have to be very careful going into this.
Exactly. Now, we did talk about the Phantoms. Gab did go Blink and went Phantom, so yeah, we were right about the...
There are 2 Phantoms, yeah. They have 2, which is that's definitely the play here.
Yeah, but the Blink at the start, I mean, at what point... The Blink at the start is for the engage, right?
Yeah.
But right now, you're so behind, Geb can't start these fights.
Exactly, it's very hard for Geb to be able to go in, and the other thing, the question is, where's your follow-up? Alpwash has to get in dangerous proximity to follow up off of any of this initiation Geb could provide. He just doesn't have the levels or anything right now to really get away with that.
You know, thinking back on that last fight under the tier 2, they're in these... Optimal Kraken is in this position to just straight up do whatever... They can take these risks and not be punished for them. Despite that fight might have gone differently if the Kraken had connected, it's just they could take that risk on that engage when everybody showed up, fortunately, in time for Team Pride, but it's just... They've got so much leg room to do this. There's really no stopping them.
I love the Oni Hunter's pickup by the Odin. He's going to be right in the thick of it. It's such a great item. He's going to get so much use out of that.
It looks like he's going for the Shoguns as well, which he did pick up last game. What do you think about that?
I think we might have something contesting a fire right now.
There's some contention. The Geb is getting caged in. This is just to secure. They're not trying to... This is a zoning ultimate. This isn't for kills or anything. They just want to get that Kraken on the Fire Giant. They pick it up without using the Kraken. Naja has someone up in the air. Geb lands down. The Opwash ult coming out. And Odin looks like he's going to fall here. The Kraken, big Kraken on the backside, hitting both of the tanks. The stun out Jing Chen, Whirlwind of Rage of Steel, thrown out to Peel. And this is just a reset. Potentially, but no, it looks like the re-engage might happen here. They have no Opwash ult. I don't think this is the optimal... They're not looking for it. They were just looking to completely peel off.
Yeah, there's not really... After that Poseidon ult's down, that Opwash ult is down, there's not really a whole lot left for you to pick up as Kraken. You already got a huge win. Go back, buy your items, and start the siege.
I have to say, Diversity played that well. The Geb ult was timed. It was waited out. He took the Naja ult, which isn't going to do much to a Geb. The Geb's got the crit resistance on his passive. I believe he only takes 50%, or is it 25% from crits?
I think it is 50%. Yeah, he takes half.
He takes half from crits. So Naja ult is already doing reduced damage. And also, Geb has a pretty decent amount of defense, though not as much as I would hope at this point. He's got the stone. He picked up the Stone of Binding, which is this hybrid item that can be very powerful if you're ahead, but in this case they're very behind, and I don't really see who's benefiting from that effect that much.
It just comes down to that difficulty again. Hachiman is in a little bit of trouble right here.
Hachiman, yeah, caught out on the left side. Naja ult missing.
Oh.
That is so unfortunate. Now Naja might be caught here. No. Jing Chen looking to loop around, but there isn't anything. There's nobody here to follow up on if Jing Chen got anything. So it's just a complete reset.
So overall, I definitely, that is a big win over there for Pride. Getting that blink off that Naja, that's such a dangerous tool at this point in the game.
Yeah, and you know what? I gotta harp on the point. We talked about Cupid going crit again. He did it again, and I don't know if I like it. I mean, again, he's ahead, so he's not going to get punished for it. But right now, you've got Geb, which is, it is 25%, I remember. And you've got the Xing Chen, who is going to be reducing your damage as well. There's nothing... I feel like he'd get more value out of a Odysseus Bow pen build. Or even you build him like a Neith. Or like a mid-Uller. That sort of thing. You build him full burst, and you just try to explode on people. Right? But everybody's behind, too. Everybody's a bit squishier on that side, so the pen build would even be more effective, I think, than the crit build. You're not shredding through Geb with the crits. What do you think?
I would go. I mean, I'm always a big fan of the power pen on Cupid, but again, from ahead, that crit is overwhelming. Honestly, it's overwhelming. He has another hidden dagger. He's working on that Deathbringer that we saw from last game. But the big thing that I'm looking at is now Poseidon has a Soul Reaver done, and building into what looks like, I'm assuming, a Soul Gem. He's gonna have so much burst off that Kraken that even the tanks at this point are in jeopardy. If he goes into a shard after that, it's
as a wise man once said, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He's gonna blow some people up with that, and he's got the Spear of the Magus for the pen. He's got low CDR because of those Shoes of Focus and the Mage's Blessing. He's gonna have these Krakens up very often, and they're going to be devastating.
Siege is starting in mid. They actually do have one archer here. Backdoor protection.
The Cage coming out. Opwash is going to... The Gebolt only hitting one. Opwash ult still not used yet. Looking for the Whirlwind of Rage Steel. Gets Odin, and only Odin. This engage right now is very sloppy. The Hachiman ultimate's just being traded left and right. Kraken completely off the mark. The Crypts are emptied, looking to zone off the Phoenix. Naja is split from the rest of his team, and everybody's just... That fight was just a little bit of a mess. Pretty chaotic.
I really liked holding the Outwash ult there, though. That's what helped save that Phoenix.
It was very good. It was very well timed, too. At first, I was questioning why he held it so long, but that was very well. Everybody committed, and then he Opwash ulted. Naja was split off to the right. Naja could not get back in and around because of the Crypts. Crypts were very well placed.
And he held it for a crucial moment. At first, when he got engaged on, a lot of people were just throwing that out, but he held that. That was really good. That saved the Phoenix.
And yeah, it did. Like there's no other way to put it other than that just saved it. Just saved it. It split the team perfectly, and the ultimates were just. I have to talk about the Kraken that fight. It did nothing. The Kraken was completely off the mark. Not even the sides hit.
He did finish the Soul Gem, though, now, so now he's going to have even more burst on that.
And more CDR, too.
Yeah.
So, even if he does have some of those little bit sloppy Krakens, he should be able to pick them up. The reward he's getting out of it, though, the pick, it doesn't seem any less effective. He's still playing how Poseidon should play. He's playing that supportive role.
Yeah.
He's playing that, I'm going to cripple and slow you, and I'm really fast and annoying. Like, he's still doing his job. He's just got to be a little bit more precise on these practices.
Geb is here.
Geb is here, but nobody else is. There's
a little too late.
Naja's up. This is a dead Geb if I've ever seen one. The Cage is committed. I don't like the Cage there. I don't think it was necessary. Another stack on that Odin passive, but...
I mean, I think that they're going to have it before the serious siege actually starts. I mean, they're going to get a T2 here.
I mean... Yeah, they're gonna
keep one person for the T2, everyone else back, because that mid Phoenix is going down regardless. It's going down.
The Erlong Shen has to back now. They need him for this fight. The amount of CC he can provide. Opwash getting jumped on by Naja in the backline. The Crypt's coming out. That is so well positioned. Slowing the entire team down. Poseidon zoned off to the side. Need to watch him, though. The Kraken coming out again, whiffing on that center area. And the Phoenix is taken, and no punish for it. Erlong Shen didn't even get that tower yet.
Now, overall in the end, like I had said before, that the mid Phoenix is going to go down regardless. So, taking that T2 and not losing more is actually not the worst thing for Pride. The Outwash ult was very well positioned. Kraken, unfortunately, was not. But Outwash is so far behind. Cupid actually took the whole Outwash ult and just continued autoing the Phoenix. He didn't even move.
Opwash just you can even look at the builds. You can see how far behind he is.
Doesn't have the damage yet.
Let's look at gold per minute real quick. Gold per minute. Opwash is at the bottom of the game.
Yeah, he's had a
He's at
very rough
342.
set. They've put a lot of focus on him, to be fair. There's really
No,
not much he
that's
could have done
not
in
a
some of these
criticism to him.
situations.
It's
Yeah.
the situation that was forced by Optimal Kraken. They made sure this Opwash was down and stayed down.
Yeah.
Most of these cages in the early and mid game, Opwash was in them and
There's a
getting
grouping on
every
left.
ult into him. Big grouping on left, yeah. Erlong Shen still pushing down the mid, not in this fight. Anaja taking up Opwash,
great
actually. This is insane. Opwash isn't even going to get off the crypts because they're not even up. And this is blowing them out of the water. There's nobody even here to respond. The tanks did what they could, but both the carries are down. This should be game.
I think that is game, yeah. It's going to be rough to hold them out here.
This was a slobber knocker.
Still got Cataclysm, though.
Cataclysm. That was a good Cataclysm. Artio getting thrown into the fountain. She might fall here. Doesn't look like it. Kraken coming out. This is going to seal the deal. This game's over. Very well done by Optimal Kraken.
They played a very, very good game. That Blink Naja ult had to be the MVP play. Like, that was a great ult. That was the problem. They took care of the problem with a great follow-up on the Cupid ult. Hit 2, forced out the relics. That was honestly a great finish to that siege. They could not have had a nicer play to finish it.
Exactly. All right, Des, I got a question for you. Who's your MVP?
That is a rough one. I honestly,
It is,
based on the positioning and the ult, I like what Vidrell did a lot. But the other thing I have to say is that Space created so much trouble throughout the game.
Looking at the player damage here, Space did a solid 10k.
I mean, honestly,
I'm assuming most of that was into the Opwash.
I guess I'd have, if I had to give it to someone, I would have to probably give it over to Vidrell. He had a game-ending play. He set up those first couple kills for Kraken that kind of got them on the board when we were a little bit worried about, are they going to come back? Are they in the game? You know.
And I have to give credit where credit's due. Space did a very good job with that pressure he had, surviving. He did so well at surviving. He capitalized on every little mistake that was made by Team Pride when he was getting ganked, and he lived. It was perfectly done, only dying once with 6 assists. With the amount of pressure that was put on him and the amount of people that were on him at a lot of times, that's pretty impressive. He did a very good job, but Vidrell ultimately was just the setup guy. And that's kind of what you want with that Naja support build he went. You want him to be that setup guy for your mid laner, for your hunters, whoever it may be. Yeah.
I think with that one, you have that's a 2-0 for Optimal Kraken. I believe that they'll move on to the semifinals. And that is it was a really good set. I mean, it's just sometimes it's very hard after you lose a game convincingly to come back into game 2.
Game 1 was.
Yeah, it really wears on you.
Minutes, 45 around that. It does wear on you, but that's some of the dexterity that the Little League is trying to kind of teach with this competitive setting. You got to have that dexterity and that drive to be able to finish off a set and keep consistent play. And that first game kind of shook up Team Pride a little bit. Definitely did. And Optimal Kraken was able to take advantage. Very well done.
So we will take a quick break here while we wait for the semi-finals.